The beauty of African countries just keeps on speaking for itself. And in today's video, we're going to focus on another African country well known, and we're talking about Somalia in today's video. Somalia is an easternmost country of Africa on the Horn of Africa and extends from just south of the equator northwards to the Gulf of Aden and occupies an important geopolitical position between sub-Saharan Africa and the countries of Arabia and southwestern Asia. The capital, Mogadishu, is located just north of the equator on the Indian Ocean. Yes, we'll be talking about Somalia. But before we continue, go to like this video because we'll drop in lots of informative content here and subscribe to this community for more updates like this. Turn notification bell and let's dive right into Somalia. Somalia is a country of geographic extremes. The climate is mainly dry and hot, with landscapes of thorn bush, savannas, and semi-deserts. And the inhabitants of Somalia have developed equally demanding economic survival strategies. Apart from a mountainous coastal zone in the north and several pronounced river valleys, most of the country is extremely flat, with few natural barriers to restrict the mobility of the nomads and their livestock. The Somali people are clan-based Muslims, and about three-fifths follow a mobile way of life, pursuing nomadic pastoralism or agro-pastoralism. The Republic of Somalia was formed in 1960 by the Federation of the former Italian colony and British protectorate Muhammad Sa'ad Barre, who had dictatorial rule over the country from October 1969 until January 1991, when he was overthrown in a bloody civil war waged by clan-based guerrillas. After Said's fall from power, warfare continued and the country lacked an effective centralized government, problems that persisted into the 21st century. Moreover, a de facto government declared the formation of an independent republic of Somaliland in the north in 1991. Similarly, in 1998, the autonomous region of Puntland, the Puntland state of Somalia, was self-proclaimed in the northeast. Decades of civil hostilities have virtually destroyed Somalia's economy and infrastructure and split the country into areas under the rule of various entities. When Somalia's tenuous transitional administration handed power to a new government in 2012. The newly declared Federal Republic of Somalia had only limited control over the country. There was, however, hope that the new government would usher in a new era, one in which peace would be achieved and Somalis could focus on rebuilding their country. Land. Somalia is bounded by the Gulf of Aden to the north and the Indian Ocean to the east, by Kenya and Ethiopia to the west, and by Djibouti to the northwest. Somalia's western border was habitually determined by colonial powers and devised the lands traditionally occupied by the Somali people. As a result, Somali communities are also found in Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Kenya, and the border remains a source of dispute. Relief. The Somali Peninsula consists mainly of a tableland of young limestone and sandstone formations. In the extreme north, along the Gulf of Aden, is a narrow coastal plain called the Guban, which broadens northward towards the port of Berbera. This gives way inland to a maritime mountain range with a steep north-facing scarp. Drainage. The flatness of the Somalian plateau is interrupted by several deep valleys. Starting in the northeast, these are the Daro and Nogal valleys. Both are wadis that, in season, have rivers flowing into the Indian Ocean as Zafun and El, respectively. Soils. The types of soils vary according to climate apparent rock. The arid regions of northeastern Somalia have melting and infertile desert soils. The limestone plateau of the interfluvial area have fertile dark grey to brown calcareous residual soils that provide good conditions for rain-fed agriculture. The most fertile soils are found on the alluvial plains of the Juba and Shabelle rivers. These deep vertices are covered in black soil derived from decomposed lava rocks that are commonly called black cotton soils because cotton often is grown in them. These soils have high water retention capacity and are mainly used for irrigation agriculture. Climate: Somalia lies astride the equator, but unlike typical climates at this latitude, conditions in Somalia range from arid in the northeastern and central regions to semi-arid in the northwest and south. The climatic year comprises four seasons: the Gu, or main rainy season, lasts from April to June. The second rainy season, called the Da, extends from October to December. Each is followed by a dry season, the main one, Gila, from December to March, and the second one, Zaga, from June to September. During the second dry season, showers fall in the coastal zone. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Let's continue. Somalia. Plant and animal life. In accordance with rainfall distribution, southern and northwestern Somalia have a relatively dense thorn bush savanna with various succulents and species of acacia. By contrast, the high plateau of northern Somalia have wide grassy plains with many low formations of thorny shrubs and scattered grass tussocks in the remainder of the region. Northeastern Somalia and large parts of the northern coastal plain, on the other hand, are almost devoid of vegetation. Exceptions to this are the wadi areas and the moist zone of the northern coastal mountains where the frankincense tree grows. The Mai tree thrives in the border area of southern and central Somalia. People, ethnic groups. In culture, language, and way of life, the people of Somalia, northeastern Kenya, the Ogaden region of Ethiopia, and the southern part of Djibouti are largely one homogeneous group. The Somali people make up the overwhelming majority of Somalia's population. They are divided into numerous clans, which are groups that trace their common ancestry back to a single father. These clans, which in turn are subdivided into numerical subclans, combine at a higher level to form clan families. The clan families inhabiting the interfluvial areas of southern Somalia and the Zahawan and the Gigli, which together are known as the Sab. Mainly farmers and agropastoralists, the Sabs include both original inhabitants and numerous Somali groups that have immigrated into this climatically favorable area. Languages: The Somali language belongs to the Cushitic branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. Despite several regional dialects, it is understood throughout the country and is an official language. The second official language is Arabic, which is spoken chiefly in northern Somalia and in the coastal towns. Owing to Somalia's colonial past, many people have a good command of English and Italian, which, in addition to Somali, are used at the country's colleges and universities. Swahili also is spoken in the south. In 1973, Somalia adopted an official orthography based on the Latin alphabet. Until then, Somali had been an unwritten language. Economy of Somalia. About three-fifths of Somalia's economy is based on agriculture. However, the main economic activity is not crop farming or livestock raising. Between 1969 and the early 1980s, Mohammed Said Barre's military government imposed a system of scientific socialism, which was characterized by the nationalization of banks, insurance firms, oil companies, and large industrial firms, establishment of state-owned enterprises, farms, and trading companies, and the reorganization of state-controlled cooperatives. In the end, this experiment weakened the Somalian economy considerably, and since the collapse of the military regime, the economy has suffered even more as a result of civil war. In the early 21st century, the country remained one of the poorest in the world, and its main source of income came from foreign aid, remittances, and the informal sector: agriculture, forestry, and fishing. By far, the most important sector of the economy is agriculture, with livestock raising surpassing crop growing fourfold in value and earning about three-fifths of Somalia's foreign exchange. Agriculture in Somalia can be divided into three subsectors. The first is nomadic pastoralism, which is practiced outside the cultivation areas. This sector focused on raising goats, sheep, camels, and cattle, has become increasingly market oriented. The second sector is the traditional, chiefly subsistence agriculture practiced by small farmers. This traditional sector takes two forms: rain-fed farming in the south and northwest, which raises sorghum, often with considerable herd of livestock, and small irrigated farms along the rivers, which produce corn, which is maize, sesame, cowpeas, and near towns, vegetables and fruits. The third sector consists of market-oriented farming on medium and large-scale irrigation plantations along the lower Juba and Shebelle rivers. The major crops are bananas, sugarcane, rice, cotton, vegetables, grapefruits, mangoes, and papayas. I believe with this content, you'll be able to gather enough information on Somalia and you'll be able to work on this research with me on Somalia. If you enjoyed this content, do want to like this video, share this content with your friends, so let them know more about Somalia, and subscribe to this community for more updates with respect to several countries, schools, and communities in the world. See you in the next one.